Just last night, the Trump administration said, and this is an exact quote, the reflecting pool water is crystal clear.
It'll last for 50 to 100 years before you have to do anything.
2 days later, it started to turn green. 4 days after that, algae everywhere.
All right, so the talk of Washington, D.C. is about a little pool. You may have heard of it, called the Lincoln Memorial Reflection Pool, that Trump just recently spent $14 million to renovate. However, the great, beautiful, it's going to be a beautiful pool. It's going to reflect like you've never seen it reflect before. Didn't go as planned. Let's talk about it.
I'm told they spent $14 million to paint the bottom of this reflecting pool American flag blue. But if you take a look, not only has the green of the algae come back, but look at that American flag blue in the paint. It's actually starting to peel. It's coming up.
Wow.
Just last.
Let me tell you something. Y'all spent $14 million for the paint to be peeling up just 3 days after y'all filled the reflecting pool back up. $14 million and the paint is already peeling. Let me tell you something, man. I'm here in Texas, all right? I can go to Home Depot right now. I'm just saying, get some workers who could have done that whole pool for $140 and the paint would not be peeling. Why is it that the government always spends so much money for projects? I don't understand it. I really don't. Let's check out the comments. He will blame Biden and Obama. How much extra did we pay for the hundreds of gallons of peroxide? Because that was extra. Yeah, they had to put a bunch of gallons of peroxide to try to kill all the algae. Who would have thunk it? Thank God I don't pay taxes. Somebody's hacked the IRS in this video. I'm a hater. All right, on to the next video.
Checking in at the Lincoln Memorial. Want to see how this water's doing because a couple weeks ago I came and the water was nasty, ran icky. So I'm like, all right, they got a plan, you know. They got to have a plan. I mean, we the United States. Like, this is D.C. Like, a little algae not going to keep us down, right?
No,
so I'm like, all right, let me come back here. It's been about a week and some change. Let me see how the pool looking. And let me show you what it look like.
Show us what it look like.
I think we need China to come in here and help us.
Okay, nice emerald green, you know.
Got a little bit of progress, a little teeny bit. We could see the bottom, but what's the color supposed to be again? American flag blue. I'm not sure about that. I'm gonna check back again next week.
All right, I got questions, y'all. I got some questions. Now, granted, the reflecting pool is green because of algae. You don't got to be a biologist to figure that out. I'm just saying, you know, it could be a lot worse is all I'm saying. You know, I live like an hour away from Galveston. I don't know if you've ever been to Galveston, Texas, and never seen that water. That brown is like what we like to call chocolate brown, right? Chocolate milk brown, okay? So it could be worse, you know. A nice emerald green isn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? If we had that down here in Galveston, be flooded with people, excited, you know, because right now, the water we have here in Texas, around Galveston, you can literally walk into the water to your ankles, look down, you cannot see your feet, okay? So, you know, I guess people up north are a little bougie. This is green, it's green. Well, you know what? We in the trenches down here in Texas. We play rough. We wish we had some emerald green water. But another thing is, I don't understand China. We need help. What is that about? Does China build reflecting pools or specialize in building reflective pools that I don't know about? No, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being dead serious. What is it like? Do they know how to kill the algae? What has the Chinese mastered where we need their help in this situation? Somebody please let me know in the comments. Please. Oh yeah, let's check out the comments. Why do we need China? I'm lost. You and me both. Trump girl. I don't understand how China can solve this problem. Somebody please let me know on YouTube, how can they solve this problem? Did they have a reflection pool in China and they have algae and somehow the Chinese were able to destroy it? Let me know. Please let me know. It's summer, and that's what happens in the summer. People will be throwing themselves on the ground if they put chemicals in it. Okay, they are putting chemicals in it. That's that peroxide. Was it peroxide? Was it tequila? What kills algae? They're putting some type of chemical in it to try to kill it. So it is a natural occurrence, y'all. Calm down. It's only been a few days. It had algae for decades, and it's going to take a hot minute to kill it all. This is true, y'all. This is true. I know a lot of people are trying to blame Trump on this, but in the Biden and Obama administration, they also had algae in the actual reflection pool. I think they spent like $34 million to try to clean it. So, people are like, oh, it's $14 million. Trump spent $14 million. To my knowledge, what I looked up with the Obama and Biden administration, they spent about $34 million for the same issue. But we're just talking about it now. That's my Bill Clinton impersonation. On to the next video. I did not have relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky.
I've been told that the reflecting pool is actually more green now that it's been painted blue because the color is so dark. Apparently it's speeding up the algae growth process. So obviously I'm going on a run to check it out and see it for myself. Let me give you a little context, but this was all finished and filled last week and algae did start growing in it immediately. Let me show you. I specifically wore blue shoes so you can see how green this is. Now a big part of the reason it got a bunch of algae right away is because when they had to drain the pool to refill it, those supply lines, the water gets kind of stagnant and dormant in it. That speeds up the algae growing process. So whenever you start it all back up and refill it, that is kind of a normal thing that happens. Now, what people are concerned about is because the bottom of the pool is now technically a darker color, the idea is it's going to actually attract more heat, which will help algae produce faster. If you've never had a chance to visit it or see it drained, it's only about 18 inches deep here on the edges, and in the middle, it's about 3 feet deep at most. And as you have probably witnessed, whenever you have water that is that shallow, algae and things like that grow much, much faster. But again,
That's what he's talking about.
And blue shoes to verify it is certainly green. This allegedly was only supposed to cost 1.5 million, but it has now gone up to 14 million. I'm not sure if you're able to see because of the light, but if you look in the middle, it's like a lighter green, and then it gets darker green on the outside over there. So I don't think we can definitively say that this accelerated algae growth is because of the paint color specifically, but you bet I'm going to keep checking up on it and see how it turns out. What I can say though is it is definitely not American flag blue, and the reflection is still the same because what makes it reflect is actually the shape of the bottom, not because of the color of the water.
Now this dude know what he's talking about. Finally, somebody who knows what they're talking about. Not politics, this science, okay? This science. So I'm just amazed how he was able to film and jog at the same time. I would have been so out of breath 5 seconds into this video. I would be like, it's green, I'm going home. So yeah, man, let's check out the comments and see what they say. It was so clean when Forrest and Jenny ran to meet each other. Jenny, I love you, Jenny. Mama always said that Jenny one day will want me, but it's going to be after a bunch of drugs and other man. Then she might actually have to catch something. It's okay. We can still have a little boy at the end. Yeah, it was true, but unfortunately that was CGI. That was not real. Yeah, look it up. It was CGI. That whole running in the reflection pool, yeah, that scene was actually real. It was like green screen. Who would have thought green screen reflection? You see what I did there? You see? Okay, I digress. On to the next comment. Why isn't it possible to drain the entire thing, re-cement it with plain cement, and then put some suckerfish in there? You thinking outside the box? I like that. You know how many suckerfish it would take to eat all that algae? We're talking about thousands, okay? Thousands. But I like where you going. See what I'm saying? I like that. Imagine if we put 14 million into literally anything else, minus the military. You know what? You're right. $14 million could have went a long way to help a lot of people besides a reflection pool. But what can we do, y'all? We can only pray about it, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Well, $14 million down the drain. But who's to blame? Well, most people are trying to blame Trump. But to be honest with you, I don't even think it's Trump's fault, man. Trump don't know what the hell is going on with no damn reflection pool. I don't even think Trump knows how to swim. And honestly, a lot of people are trying to blame the contractors as well. Yeah, the $14 million budget. You're trying to tell me you couldn't paint some cement where the paint didn't peel off in a few days? Is it the contractor's fault? Possibly. Or at the end of the day, Mother Nature's going to do what Mother Nature's going to do. Because you know what? Mother Nature's made by God. And nothing's going to be bigger than God, the ultimate contractor. So once again, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Until next time, y'all. Peace.